Hello and welcome to another AIC Productions video. This is another video on the Asus E402S laptop. This is the competitor, at least in my mind, against the HP 14-inch with the 1080 screen. This also has a 1080 screen and costs about the same amount of money, about under that $250 mark. So my last video I did on this laptop is I unboxed it, just to give a quick overview of it. Since then, I've installed an SSD and I opened up the laptop to see if I could upgrade anything other than the storage on it. The answer to that is absolutely no. You cannot even remove the eMMC storage. You cannot affect the memory in any way. It's soldered onto the system board. So the only thing you can do with this laptop is upgrade the storage. Now, the storage is much easier to upgrade than it is on the HP. It's one screw and you don't need any kind of adapter or anything like that. But there are some drawbacks to this laptop. So I'm going to go through just some quick overview of it again. And then we'll go into in this video, specifically some performance benchmarking and a little bit of real world tests. So all throughout this video, I have Furmark running. I believe that's how you pronounce it, F-U-R-M-A-R-K, Furmark. The reason for this is I wanted something really stressing the system while I kind of go through the performance benchmark, so you can kind of see how the system performs if you're wanting to push the system. I'll do another video that will be just gaming on this laptop, and that will be a follow-up video to this. But right now we're just dealing with the performance. So I mentioned when I first bought this and did the unboxing, this sticker here, and I wanted to go over a couple of these items here. First one, ice cool, keeps your palm rest cool. That is very true. This is being pushed 100% CPU and the palm rest is cool. This side of the keyboard actually is cool. This side of the keyboard, I definitely feel that it's warmer than this side. Now, is it uncomfortable at all? Absolutely not. This has a fairly low powered CPU and it won't get very hot at all. It vents here. It does have a fan. I don't know if you can hear it. It is actually quite quiet, and I would say it's quieter than the HP. And it vents right here along the bottom edge of the screen. So, right there. And you can definitely feel a little bit of warmth coming out of there. Again, this laptop does not get very warm at all. But it also does not have a very powerful CPU. We'll get to that here in a moment. Next thing, eye care. 33% blue light reduction. I have no way to test that. I don't know. I don't notice it when I'm working on it. I try not to spend more than an hour or two staring at a laptop screen when I'm here at home, because I spend 8 to 9 hours a day at work staring at a computer screen and my eyes are tired anyways. So I can't test that. Now, the next one is the True to Life stunning sharp 150% better contrast. This laptop definitely has a brighter backlight than the HP. As far as the contrast, I'm going to have to compare them side by side, but I definitely will say that this laptop is brighter, which is nicer if you plan on using it outside or if you just need a brighter backlight. I prefer a brighter backlight. And so that's definitely a bonus with this laptop. Then the last one is Sonic Master incredibly realistic sound. Now, these are kind of the first three. I have no way of testing this. This one, it's brighter. I don't know if the better contrast really makes that big a difference on it. The Ice Cool, most laptops have a fairly cool wrist pad anymore, so that's not that big a deal. The sound on this laptop is excellent. For a very inexpensive laptop, the sound is surprisingly loud and high quality. So that is definitely something that they've done well on this laptop. Sound is great. Even my wife, I went to play some music and my wife went, "Wow, that sounds good," sitting across the room from me, which she has never done when I've been testing one of these systems. She's never commented on the sound quality of the laptop. So she is not an audiophile in any way, shape, or form, and even she noticed that there was a quality difference in the sound of this laptop. So definitely a big plus on this system. So some minor things from using it. I had the X205T that had that excellent touchpad. This does not have that touchpad, unfortunately, and that's a detriment. This touchpad, like the HP, is just okay. It's nothing to write home about. It kind of picks up your palms a little bit sometimes. You'll be scrolling along and it'll jump. It's very common errors I get on these inexpensive laptops is they don't invest in the touchpad, especially with as high a resolution as this screen is. It'd be nice if this had a slightly better touchpad, especially that one. If they put it in the 205 X205, they should have put it in this one. It is, and that was an excellent touchpad. This one's just okay. If I go ahead and turn it this way, another thing that was a problem on the X205 that is a problem on this laptop. Now on the box of this laptop it calls it blue, but it's definitely black. If it's blue at all, it's a bluey black, but it's definitely black to me. But it is a fingerprint magnet, which is not a problem. Now this is the 15 over here, but because of the texture on here and the type of plastic that it is, which is exactly the same that's on the 14, it is not a fingerprint magnet, where this Asus absolutely 100% is. And I got a case for the X205. I don't know if there's a case for this yet or not. That's definitely something that's going to be on my shopping list soon for the system. As far as the bottom of the laptop, oh, I didn't get this all back together. There we go. I just had it apart a few minutes ago, and I will throw that video onto the end of this one of it actually opened up, showing the insides, the internals, so that you can see that you cannot change the memory or anything like that. Because people always tell me, oh, you don't know what you're doing. I probably don't, but I definitely opened it up and looked at it, and there was no way to change the memory. I like the feet. This style of feet is really nice. It gives a nice firm base. The buttons back here are slightly thicker than the ones here towards the front, so it gives it just a little bit of an elevation, which makes it nice for typing. This is the door where you place the SSD. I put a 120 gig SSD in here. It's a Transcend, I believe, for the brand on that. Alright, so have FurMark still running. It's not very good. It's only getting an average of 2. I believe the HP got 3 to 5 average on there. Go ahead and minimize this, and you can see it's running 100% CPU, 75% memory with everything I have open. It's dropping a little bit because I minimized it. So I used performance test Passmark to test this system. It's exactly the same as I used on the HP. Let me zoom in here so you can see the screen a little bit better. Oop. Too far. Sorry about that. So we'll go through the different scores here for the Passmark. Alright, so this is how it's set up. HP's here with the SSD and the eMMC. Asus here with SSD and the eMMC. I did that because of the way I took screenshots from the HP. So total score for the HP overall, the HP has a better processor, plain and simple. It's a much faster processor. It's more than twice as fast on that AMD processor. So if you're going to do anything that's at all what you would consider CPU intensive and you're going for cheap, buy the HP. It definitely has a better, faster processor, and you can upgrade its memory up to 16 gigs I had in there. I didn't try 32 because I don't have two 16 gig DIMMs. I just have two 8 gig DIMMs. But it is a much faster system overall. And so yeah, if you're doing anything where you think you're going to use much CPU, buy the HP. It'll be 100% worth it in the end because it has a faster processor. You can see that right here. We'll go off the SSDs because you're going to want to upgrade. The eMMC storage on these is just not very good, and it makes a huge difference when you're doing anything from surfing the web to even typing on Facebook or viewing YouTube videos, anything like that, it makes a difference. That storage speed is huge between the two, and we'll go over that here in a minute because I have crystal disk mark screenshots. So CPU, more than twice as fast for the CPU for the HP. For the 2D and 3D mark, the HP was just slightly faster, but I don't think it's enough to actually make that big a difference in gaming. Like I said, I'll do a gaming video here in a little bit that will show that. Memory mark, it's funny, I got faster scores on some of these using the eMMC versus the SSD. I don't know why that is. I don't know what changed. Now, that might have been changed at Asus. I'll do another video on the BIOS, going through the BIOS on the system, so if you're interested in that, let me know down below. I'll put that together for you. But unlike the HP, where you can change how much memory is allocated to the video, you can do that on this. So I actually have gone ahead and made that change, and I'll go through that when I do the BIOS video. So that might be why the memory mark is a little bit slower at the Asus, because when I was going in and changing what is the boot device, I changed that as well. And now the disk mark, pretty close. I think the HP is a little bit slower because it's going through the adapter, where this, no adapter or anything required. It plugs straight in. There's a port already there for it, so you're not having to go in and get a third-party adapter or anything like that. It'll save you, you know, $7-8. Basically, the difference in cost between this laptop and the HP, you save by not having to buy that adapter. Now, as far as the disk speeds go, so the ones on the left again are with the SSD. Top is the Asus, bottom is the HP, and you will see, even though they are different disks, the eMMC in the Asus was actually relatively okay. There's kind of give and take between the two. Some it scored better and some it didn't. The SSD in both of them crushes the eMMC drive. I mean, it's no contest. The SSD versus the eMMC. The SSD is so much faster. It's no contest. It's worth spending the few extra bucks. It's like $40 to $60 depending on brand and size that you get. I definitely would not get anything smaller than 120 gigs. Not worth it. If you're going to spend your money, I'd try to aim for a less expensive 240 gigs. That seems to be a better spot as far as storage goes. And so usually just $5 to $15 more for that, you know, doubling your capacity. So it's definitely worth your dollar amount to bump up to that next size. Now let's get firmware back up, and we will grab some internets. So I went ahead. Now again, I have firmware running in the background. CPUs run 100%, GPUs run 100%, and even browsing, it's pretty good. I am using Edge. Edge does seem to be slightly faster when you're doing basic browsing like this. I still prefer Chrome. And now it did take a minute to load. If I go ahead and refresh CNN really seemed to kill the performance. I'm going to put this on mute because I don't want to get hit with any copyright strikes here, but we'll just, and you can see CNN, I try to refresh it and it's loading, and so it's taking a minute to load a video here. You see still 100% CPU. Video's playing, it's not choppy, it's not flaking out at all. That's something I got a lot with the Atom-based systems, is they really struggle to run YouTube videos even with without stuttering, with nothing else running. So now, one thing that this laptop does not have that is a strike against it, in my opinion, is it does not have a 5 gigahertz wireless. It only has N. It only has a 2.4 gigahertz wireless. So that is something to consider if you're doing a lot of traffic over the wireless, and you live somewhere that is very busy wireless traffic. That's something definitely to consider, as it will affect your overall speeds. In day-to-day use, I don't notice that huge of a difference. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. I don't notice that big a difference in day-to-day use, but it definitely makes a difference in like file transfers or downloading big files off the internet. I don't have very fast internet, so my wireless here at home is faster than my internet speed. But I do tend to transfer big files to my server, my data store, and back again. So it definitely makes a difference for me in that regard. Especially when I have a smaller drive, I spend a lot more time swapping files out, especially media files, if I'm going to be doing any video encoding or if I'm going to be traveling, I want to throw some videos on there that I want to watch. Anything like that, it makes a difference. So definitely something to consider. Again, I'll throw at the end of this video that video for with the laptop opened up, so you can see the internals. If you have any questions about anything we've gone over today, feel free to ask in the description down below. Happy to answer those for you. Do my best, and thank you for watching. Have a great day. Okay, so as part of the performance testing, I went ahead and opened up this Asus laptop to see if I could upgrade the memory. I wanted it to be as similar to the HP as possible, since I had as much as 16 at one point gigs of memory in the HP when I did some performance testing. And Asus only has 4. And again, I apologize for my sniffles. I'm still recovering from a cold I've had for a couple of weeks. And the first thing I'm going to recommend is don't open the Asus. Other than the one door to upgrade the hard drive, it's not easy. It took me a significant amount of time to carefully open it up without breaking the back. It was on there good. Here's the back. It was not easy to get this off, even after removing the screws. Then once you have the back off, there is nothing in here to replace. I mean, sure, you could replace the wireless, which is this right here, which I'll discuss that in a minute. That may be something you want to do, but it's not something I'm going to do, at least not at this time. Here's the CPU. I'm guessing this is the memory here for 1 gig chips. I don't know where the eMMC drive is. I'm pretty sure it's not on this board. I see this ribbon coming here, and I don't know if that's for the touchpad or if that's for the storage. I've not removed the battery. I'm actually not going to take anything more apart on this at this point. I don't want to. I mean, this may even be the storage here, but then I don't know where the RAM would be. I don't know what all the chips are. I'm not going to look them up. I don't know what that is. But anyways, so it is not upgradable outside of the hard drive. So that's definitely something against this machine. And for the HP is upgradability as far as the memory goes. You can't upgrade the memory on this laptop at all. But the hard drive is much easier to upgrade, and so 4 gigs is good. I'll go into performance testing. You'll see the performance testing. I'll probably have this at the end of that video. But I just wanted to cover this while I had the machine open before I complete my performance testing of the machine. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer those, and I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching.